Welcome back to another episode of Akau TV. We have a handful of runners on both sides of the ditch. Weather's not playing its ball here in Matamata for tomorrow's racing, but that's alright, we'll carry on and see how we go. We'll start off with last week, a really successful day down there at Riccarton with 3 winners, starting off with Origin of Love, a really well-bred filly that's shown us a lot up here in Matamata and went down there a few weeks ago, so nice to get a good win in her second start. We'll head to Ashburton in a couple of weeks. Stony Breck, another horse that's always been consistent and was a really impressive win in the hands of Jasmine Fawcett. So the horse that's shaping really well down there. The highlight of last week would have had to be the 2-year-old out of the blue for Julia Rose and her Tangerine Army Syndicate. It's really important these days, owners get into horses, even if it's 1%, 10% or more, you can still share the ownership thrill. So really excited bunch of owners in that horse there. So as mentioned, we've got a handful of runners on Saturday here at our local track in Matamata. The weather forecast isn't flash, so it looks like we'll be running on a pretty heavy track. But we'll start off in race 1. We got this horse here, Loverbill, lined up in the maiden with Opie on top. Drawn well, just got into a bit of a tricky spot there a couple of weeks ago at Taupo, but once got clear, she really wrestled home for a nice second. So it's a nice draw, Opie on top, so hopefully she can get a little bit of luck in running and should prove hard to beat. Just hopefully it's not too wet for her. She should get first used to the track, so that's always a bonus. But yeah, really a nice chance to start off the day. Race 2, Age of Discovery, again with Opie on top. A horse that's kind of got us scratching our heads. He's obviously won his first 2 as a 2-year-old, and then obviously had a few issues, and he works good at home, but unfortunately doesn't quite put it there on race day. But home track, so he's another good each way chance to hopefully step up for the team. Move along to race 5. We got Hakanen. Unfortunately, a horse that sort of was supposed to race at Taupo the other week, but that race got abandoned, so he sort of missed out a few chances of racing, and the track doesn't look ideal for him, being so wet, and drawn 13 but niggly. But Sam McNabb is booked to ride, so we'll take off 3 kilos off that big weight, and has run fresh previously, so if he does start, should kick off his campaign on the right foot, hopefully. So move along to race 7, the Team Whelan's Matamata Cup. Obviously a big day for the locals here at Matamata. As mentioned, unfortunately the weather doesn't look going too flash, but we'll play on. It's kind of what we expect here in this time of the year in New Zealand. But we have just the 1 runner, My Lips Are Sealed, second up after a pleasing first up run there at Ellerslie a couple of weeks ago. A horse that should relish the track conditions. I think it's 3 starts, 2 wins there on a heavy track, so nice lightweight, 53 kilos. So George Rook will take the ride on that one. So the team are really happy with how she's been working on since Ellerslie, so it should be a really nice chance there in a pretty even competitive Matamata Cup. We'll move on to the last race of the day here at Matamata. We have a 3-pronged attack at the moment. Accidental Tourist we'll start off with. Got the top weight, has had a couple solid first up runs there with apprentices on, so we elected to put Opie on, obviously the top senior jockey. So hopefully after his last start effort can hopefully put his foot in the till for the good group of guys there at Windsor Park. Balance of Power, another one that could be doubtful just with the track conditions, but he was a good last run there at Ellerslie, got back and finished off nicely with Sam on top. Sam has the ride again here this week, so we'll just see how the track goes over the next sort of 24 hours and see how we go there. The last runner in that race, El Viento, has a few tricks in the barriers, so but was a really good run there again at Ellerslie. Warren Kearney will take the ride for him. So as long as he can sort of jump those barriers clean, he should be a nice chance in that race and finish off really nicely. Wraps up our Manamana runners. Obviously the highlight of the day will be the Manamana Cup with $80,000. Big day for the locals here. So hopefully a nice race to keep everyone happy. So move along to Sunday. We have a small team down at Timaru. Start off in race 2 in the maiden 1200. We have options open. A horse bred on the farm by Dave and Karen. Had just had the one run there as a 2-year-old. She's had 2 really nice trials there most recently, quite impressive. So the team are hoping that she put a nice, bold first up run there, drawn nicely in barrier 7 with Bruno on top. He's jockeyed there we've had a lot of success with down south, so hopefully nice to see her kick off her maiden win and target some races down the line there. We'll move along to race number 9, rating 75 1200. We've got 2 horses in here. First of all, Hooray for Harry. Really nice to get that win there last start after a bit of a luckless run there first up. So that Hunter down there has been really happy on how he's progressed since that last run. So Amber Riddell takes the ride there. Drawn very wide, so she'll need to be on her A game there to get a bit of luck, but hopefully she'll be competitive there in the finish. Our other runner, Legally Binding, unfortunately was supposed to be there at Riccarton last week, but just unfortunate circumstances. So he's had a took-over trial there on the course proper on Monday. In race number 10, we have Queen of Naples, again drawn very awkward there in 13. Bruno will take the ride on her. It's a horse that we've really had a lot of time for. She's really stepped up since being down the South Island with putting 2 nice wins there to finish her campaign. So again, from that barrier, just need a little bit of luck, but hopefully Bruno can get into a nice spot and to finish the race off nicely, and she should hopefully win a few more this preparation. So that wraps up our runners here in New Zealand over Manamana and Timaru on Sunday. As for best bet, it's a bit tricky with these weather conditions. Obviously I'm in a heavy 10 track, but I'll have to go, my lips are sealed in Manamana Cup. It's an even field, but her run last start at LSE was very pleasing, and she should relish the track conditions with a lightweight of 53 kilos. So that's all from us here in New Zealand. I'll throw it over to you, Ben, in Australia.
Hey guys, welcome to Tiaka TV for this week. We'll start off with Moonee Valley on Friday, Ben.
Yeah, hey guys, welcome to another week of Tiaka TV. We're just here with our first 2-year-old runner who we'll introduce soon, Harry Sally. But yeah, we kick off an exciting weekend at Moonee Valley tomorrow night, which it'll be quite a sentimental day for many involved with Akau, as it's Melody Bell's first offspring racing. So lyrics and song, beautiful written tycoon filly that we bought in partnership with Yulon, and they bred her as well. So really exciting to have her get to the races for the first time. She's had 2 jump outs this preparation off the back of a little letter over the winter. 4 jump outs overall, and every one of them she's really pleased with. She's a promising filly. She won her last jump out in quite emphatic fashion, albeit she's probably a filly that'll progress to being a mile type, similar to her mum. She certainly looks sharp enough over 1,000 metres that she can go to Moonee Valley tomorrow night and be a good winning chance. She's got barrier 1, Mick Dean saddle. We'd love the rain around that's right now to be hitting the valley, just a little bit of give in the track for a filly having her first start, but do think she's got plenty of class. She's really impressed us all the way through, Mark and myself, and we'd love to get our first runner for Yulon to be a winner, so fingers crossed she can make a promising debut.
And on Saturday off to Matoa.
Yeah, a couple of runners there. Hopefully, we've got Sydney Reddy who's in the field. There's a Hallie Imzane for Cambridge stud, Brendan and Joe Lindsay, and he's had a couple of promising starts, I should say. Bit stiff to get beaten in 2 of them, running a nice second, but we've sent him up to the bush. It's still good prize money, 35 grand, and he should go there and be a really hard horse to beat. It's quite a tight track, that Matoa, and he's been a horse that settles on pace, and I think he'd be hard to run down. So hopefully we can get a winner for Cambridge Stud. And we have Prismera as a fourth emergency, so hopefully she gets a run. But she was a filly who probably wasn't given the best introduction at her first start ride-wise, and she just hit the front way too soon and wilted on her run. But she's only come home eaten up. She's actually just really impressed us since coming back from that first start. She smashed a feed. She had a really nice gallop with Paddy Maloney in the saddle, and certainly hoping that she can get a run, because we think she'll be hard to beat as a 3-year-old filly, even in an open maiden. So yeah, we'd love to go to Matoa with 2 horses and come back with 2 winners.
And then on to Flemington. Very excited for a big day out.
Yeah, it is really exciting. Having 2 2-year-olds in the first 2-year race of the season, I think it's quite a monumental effort from the team. It's been great having Mark over here and seeing how he trains 2-year-olds, and it's a huge credit to him and the team for getting 2 of our horses to that first race. So both had a really good education, like Harry Met Sally here and Flash of Class, had 3 jump outs both, handled it well. Their body, they look fantastic in the coat. This fella absolutely glowing for a time of year where a lot of our older horses are still shedding their coats. A lot of horses here at Cranbourne are, given the weather's up and down like a yo-yo. So he's glowing, he's really well in himself, eating, bloods are good. So he ticks a lot of boxes. He's probably been somewhat a little bit more impressive in his jump outs. He chased down the older horses in his second one, and then at Flemington the other day, he settled back in the field, got to the outside and really let rip. So albeit he's not in the market, he's 20, I think he's 20 to 1 roughly. I think he's probably our better chance, and I think he's probably a bit underrated by the market as well. So he's a horse who I feel is on an upwards trajectory, which for 2-year-olds is very important. You know, sometimes a lot of them can be getting there at the end of their prep, and they put in a run like that, whereas I think he's sort of heading the right way. He's got a beautiful attitude for a colt, very professional. The other morning at Flemington, there was horses pinballing everywhere and colts misbehaving, and he just walked around like he's been there 100 times. So if he can behave like that at Flemington on Saturday, that'll carry him a long way, because sometimes horses run their race before the race has been run. So yeah, can't wait to get him there. It's great to have a horse for Bray Sokolsky running as a 2-year-old, something that probably himself and us didn't expect to be happening so soon. So we really appreciate his support. And Flash of Class, the capitalist filly that Mark and David bought at the Inglis sale. She's been bomb-proof for a capitalist. Got a really good brain on her, and she's impressed us in her work. She's very professional, and you know, I certainly think she can go there and run a race as well.
And finally, Azazel.
Yeah, Azazel. He's having a crack at one of the Derby lead-ups, so the Superimposed Stakes. Won impressively on debut, and albeit to the eye, probably didn't look that impressive. He was a 3-year-old in open company, jumped from a wide gate, came across and settled outside the leader. Hit the front at the top of the straight, had horses sort of swamp him, and then he fought back and won, which I think for a 3-year-old on debut is a really big effort. A lot of horses in that field had 3, 4, 5 runs under their belt, so that experience held him in good stead. He had a gallop over at the course proper on Tuesday with Damask Rose actually, and yeah, he worked the house down. It was really impressive work. Even Mick D, that was on Damask Rose, looked to his inside and said, "What was that?" And when we told him it was his ride for Saturday, he was thrilled. So it's something to take to the races on Saturday. He's 20, I think he's 23 to 1 in the field. He definitely shouldn't be. He's probably our best each way for the week. He's going to appreciate the step out to 1800, being by shocking. He's got a great attitude. He won't be fazed by the occasion of Saturday. So yeah, I think he can be going to that 1800 metre listed race and running a real bottler from barrier 7.
Best for the weekend?
Best for the weekend, it's a toss-up. If I was going to say put it on the nose, it'd be Lyrics and Song tomorrow night at Moonee Valley. She's $4, I think. I'm not sure how the boys have been tipping at home, but I probably haven't tipped many yet. So I'll put it on the nose with her. And if I was going to go 50 each way, I'd certainly be backing Azazel he's a great chance.